I am so excited! I've been sent a laser from the guys over at Longer. They've sent me the Ray5 10W. Now, this is not a paid video, however, I did get this product for free. Full disclosure though, I've got to do a review on it. My review is allowed to be honest, and you know me, I'm going to be as honest as I can be, whilst trying not to get too excited about frickin' sharks with frickin' laser beams. Yeah, you're all probably too young to get that reference, but I am excited. Let's go! First things first, the unboxing. What do you get? First of all, you get some instructions. Normally I'd throw these away, but I feel like because it's a laser, I should probably read them. In the box, you've got all of the lasery parts, including the touchy, screeny thing. I should probably say now, I've never used a laser etcher before. But this thing, I've read the reviews, and this thing can etch, it can cut, it can do all sorts. Today's video is going to be focusing on the etching. To do the cutting, you're supposed to have this honeycomb mat underneath, and I have ordered one, but you do have to buy that separately. That's not in the box. As well as all the laser parts, you also get this little kit here. In this little kit, you've got 3 small bits of really thin plywood. I think they call them blanks. Now, these are what I'm going to be kind of wasting today with the whole testing of it. You also get the world's cutest little brush. Look how sweet that is. I don't know what it's for, but it's ever so cute. As well as that, you get a USB SD card adapter. Now, you can link your laptop, your Chromebook, your Surface Pro, whatever you've got up to this thing. I haven't got any of those. I've got a desktop computer. So I'm going to be using this to transfer the files that I want to etch onto the machine. We'll see how that goes. As well as that, it's just cables and things. I don't know what they do. But I'm going to time this and see how long it takes me to assemble this thing whilst following the instructions to make it a fair test. So that's what's in the box. Now to build my laser! I almost forgot. You do get some badass superhero glasses. They're a bit Green Lantern-y. I hope this video does better than Green Lantern did. Sorry Ryan Reynolds, I love you.
This product came with everything required to build it. All the Allen keys and everything were provided. I didn't need to use a single one of my own tools at all. And I felt like it was going fairly smoothly. There's basically Allen keys to use with the screws at the end, and then there's these little L brackets to hold everything square, and it all felt very, very sturdy.
So it appears that these things are not idiot-proof. The bars at the top and the bottom, or the front and back if you like, do have to be a certain orientation. Idiot. But, just so you know Longer, I'm not the only idiot in the world.
So after my little, let's call it a mishap, I progressed quite well. To be fair to Longer, it does show on the diagram that the logo should be facing upwards, and I just didn't really look at it. Other than that, this was quite a breeze to build. Total time it took me was about 33 minutes, I think, which is not too bad, straight out of the box. The most difficult part was adding the timing belts, which is what I'm doing now. It doesn't look like anything's happening on the screen, but these timing belts are quite difficult to install. They come with little nuts, and it doesn't really say how tight they should be, or whether they should be loose at the end, and whether there should be the overhang that you see in the video. But to be honest, I did it, and the first time, it's worked. At this point in the assembly, I was absolutely buzzing, ready to plug in the power cord and give this thing a spin.
So all in all, that took just 33 minutes and some seconds. After checking the recording time, I can promise you the only time I left the screen was to go for a wee. Too much information, I know, but I did leave for that reason. 33 minutes it took me to build it. If you weren't an idiot like me, and you actually read the instructions before thinking you know best, probably could have done it in 20 minutes. Now, I am left with a problem. The good thing is that this seems really sturdy. I think I've got the timing belt right. I might need to tighten or loosen, but that should be fairly easy. The one thing that I can't overcome today, tomorrow's Sunday as well, which makes this even better, is that in the UK, we use these plugs. Be aware though, if you buy this thing, it ships with this plug. I don't even know what it is. And then I was thinking, I'll just go into the loft. I've got some plug adapters that I took on holiday, but of course, they'll be the reverse ones. I need to convert that into that. And the plug adapters I have convert that into that. Just going to wear my glasses and sulk on this for a bit, because I don't know how to fix it until Monday. Still, looks pretty. The Amazon man came, which means it's laser o'clock. This is what I was waiting for. This tiny little plug adapter thing. Now hopefully that will slot into there, and then I can use it on UK mains. Now it uses, and you can check this on the plug itself, it uses 240 volts, so it is suitable for UK mains. Just wasn't the right plug. But now it should work. Let's fire this puppy up. So it's all plugged in. It does work, look. And then it turns on. I've looked at a few videos of this, but it seems quite self-explanatory. I'll turn it off just for now. There is a port on top so you can plug your laptop directly into it. And I've used a program called Lightburn, which is free for 30 days, and then I think it's about £40 or $45 for it. There are free alternatives, but I want to work with something called vector images, and I think in the future it'll be a worthwhile investment. I haven't got a laptop, so this actually comes with the product. It's a housing plus a 4GB little SD card. I've put some files on here that I've been playing around with, but it also comes with a few files already preloaded onto it just to kind of test and play. But anyway, I'm going to get set up and then we'll see if this thing actually works.
It couldn't be more simple to configure the laser height to the project that you are working on. So these blanks are obviously very thin, but it works the same. You use this little aluminium block, you line it up with the back of the laser, drop the laser down onto it, tighten the nuts, and then you are ready to go. So it means that you can work with different thicknesses of wood. Now in the software you will have to change the power depending on the thickness, but that's for another day.
Okay, I'm bringing you with me handheld just for a minute, so I apologise if it's a bit shaky. But a lot's going to happen in a second. First up, you press this framing button. Basically just moves the laser module around without using the laser, so you can make sure that it's actually going to be where you want it to be. Eventually I'll have this fixed to the bench, and then, I'll have tape measures and whatnot, so it won't matter. Once you're done, it's as simple as just pressing excuse the eyewear, my Green Lantern wear. On the screen you can see the percentage it's completed, you can see coordinates, you can see the power and the speed it's working at. If you plug this directly into a laptop, then through the program Lightburn, which I've played around with some of these logos on, then it tells you the time remaining, and you've got a lot more flexibility. You can even adjust things in the middle of etching if you want. You can pause the etching, make adjustments, and then resume it. But I haven't got a laptop, so I can't do that. But so far, so impressed. I'll bring you back when it's finished. Things done. And that is what we're left with. This one, like I said, came preloaded with the SD card, so it's kind of just designed for a test piece. But look at the detail on that. I mean, it's great, but I want to try some of my own things. Bear with me. Okay, so my logo just finished, but that didn't come out as well. Now, I know exactly what's wrong. Basically, the things that come preloaded, the designs that come preloaded, they've got the power settings and the laser speed and everything all ready for this machine. But when you're using Lightburn, because Lightburn's its own software, I'm just going to have to play around. As you can see, the detail's perfect, it's just not quite deep enough. All I need to do is take that file back in, turn the power up or the speed down, or both, and I should have a better product. But I'll do that on the back. Bear with me, I'm having too much fun. Okay, so I just finished another one. I can't tell you how much fun I'm having. What child wouldn't enjoy having a laser to play with? You'll have to excuse the sound of birds. All of a sudden, it's about 1,000,000 degrees in here. So that was my first iteration. Now, the power was too low, the speed was too quick. My second iteration, the fill was great, but again, not as dark as I'd wanted it. My third iteration, ignore the little S up there, that I absolutely love. What I'm learning with this bit of kit is if you look around the outside, that line around the outside, I couldn't figure out why it wasn't more defined. Well, it's not more defined because this thing is so accurate, it works to the minusculest, tiniest little measurement. So if you want a thicker line, you have to actually make a thicker line. It is so accurate that it doesn't just create thin lines on its own. And you can tell that by looking at this. If you look at that and see the amount of detail in that, you've got to give it the detail. If you want thicker lines, you've got to tell it to do a thicker line. But that's not a fault of the product. That's the software, Lightburn. I'd need a whole new video on that. I think you know how I'm feeling about this product, but let's do a summary. Let's get the most important one done first. How much is this bit of kit? As I've disclosed with you, I was sent it, so I've not paid for it. It will cost you $400 or $399.99. UK money, that's probably 370 quid from the Longer website. Must say, yes, you can get cheaper models. This is the 10 watt version, you can get the 5 watt version. From what I understand, it does near enough the same thing, less power, more time. So if time isn't an issue and you only want to do the engraving side, maybe that's for you. But $400, keep that in mind. Next part, out of the box. Out of the box, I was really impressed. Not just with the assembly of the product, but actually the packaging. When it came, I couldn't believe that it was going to be this big. It was basically packaged perfectly. Everything was in styrofoam and nothing could move. Even if your delivery driver, I don't know how it is in the States, but ours in the UK, can be a little ruthless. Even if they'd have thrown it in your wheelie bin, they still wouldn't have damaged it, I don't think. As for assembly, I ballsed up a couple of times. But because nothing's fixed, because everything's an Allen key, it wasn't too much of an issue. And the balls up was kind of my fault because I don't like following instructions. I was that kid that always built his Lego without the instructions and ended up with something nothing like on the box. Anyway. Next one, ease of use. That's a tricky one to broach, to be honest, because this product is great and ease of use in terms of the touchscreen and everything is absolutely straightforward, so simple. There are barely any buttons to press, yet it somehow has different levels of adjustment. You can adjust the power, the speed, the number of passes. You can see on the interface how quick you can complete a project. So ease of use with the product itself is fantastic, but you do have to use third-party software. Now, if you're a patient person, not like me, that's fine. Lightburn's not too difficult to use. I've figured out a lot of things on it already. There's something called GBLR or Gerbler or whatever. That's a lot more straightforward, but I chose not to use that because it's also a lot more restricted with what you can do. So you are going to have to learn a third-party piece of software in order to use this bit of kit. In terms of features, I've only covered the etching side, basically the engraving side. There is a whole cutting side, but again, you're going to have to employ a third party if you like. That third party is going to be a honeycomb cutting disc. If you try and cut out straight on top of your work surface, that laser has to pass through, and it cuts through to the other side and it will damage your workbench. The other thing that I've read is actually that can be a bit of a fire hazard. In terms of that though, that's another feature. Fortunately, a feature I haven't actually come across yet, but there is a smoke or a fire detector on this. So when it gets to a certain heat and there's flame, then this thing actually shuts off, goes back to home, turns itself off. However, doesn't mean you can fire and forget. You don't want to be firing this puppy up and then clearing off, going getting a cup of tea or whatnot. But in terms of what it comes with the glasses, it comes with everything you need. Bonus points for coming with a little paintbrush. So cute. So final thoughts. Does it actually work? Well, yeah, it does. It works really well. It is user dependent though. I'm not going to sit here and say that anybody can pick one of these up and you can just go for it. What you haven't seen in the video is the amount of times I've been back and forth to the house, then changing the file slightly so I didn't get this and instead I got that, and changing the power and the depth. Yes, you could avoid some of that downtime by having your laptop connected straight up to it, but basically you are going to have to learn this. This isn't a product for people to just buy and then that same day they're cranking out a load of customized placemats to put on Etsy. You are going to have to invest some time into learning how to use this thing. But I see that as a good thing in reality because it can do so much, and that's why you've got to do the learning. Final thoughts then. If I hadn't been sent this for free, would I spend the money on it? Yes. Of course I would. It's a laser. It's a laser that can laser things and cut things and do things. I've got so many things lined up that I want to use this on. One of these laser engravers has been on my shopping list for a long time. Personally, it's been hard to justify buying one when I also need things like a new table saw and I need to purchase wood. However, this bit of kit, it's incredible what it can do. You might struggle with the size of it. It can cut 400mm square. If you've got a bigger project, maybe you want something bigger. One of the things I'd like to try in it though is cutting out a jigsaw, like an actual jigsaw. It can do that. It can cut out all the pieces and everything. So I am going to be really pushing this to its limits. But yeah, if I had $400 spare, 380 quid, whatever it is, yeah, I'd buy one. It's a laser. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Why did I do a kiss?